All right, welcome to Clutch Talk 101. I didn't finish my game reactions yet. I'll get to those later on today. I'm going to start off today with NFL power rankings. And today I'm going to start from the top to the bottom. I've been doing from the bottom to the top all year. But let's start at the top. I think it would be easier for you guys to follow that list rather than hearing from the bottom to the top and we'll have to wait till the end to hear the top. I think starting from the best to the worst kind of gives you a better idea of why I put certain people where they're at. So number one, I think obviously the Philadelphia Eagles. Um, they have been the most well-rounded team this year. They're covered at every position. They have corners. They have all secondary positions are great. They have a good front seven. Their offensive line's playing good. Two number one receivers, a top 5 or 6 running back currently right now. Um, and Jalen, all he has to do is just find the guy that's open. What with all those weapons, with Goddard, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, Miles Sanders, with all those weapons, people are drawing specific players away from each other. It's easy for him to find an open target or someone that's going to make a play for him. Uh, Eagles, with when it comes to Dallas, I picked that game incorrectly because I thought that Dallas would be able to milk the clock, but Eagles got ahead early and it forced Cooper Rush into a situation he hasn't been in before. Now, do I think that result would have been different if Dak was in there? No. I think that the Eagles defense played so well that even if Dak was in there, they still would have lost. Um, and who knows if they would have even come back because Cooper, I think, operates that offense a lot differently than Dak. Dak will get you all the yards. He'll get you these big, crazy, cool plays. He gets the ball to the receivers a lot more. But Cooper, to me, is a better game manager, and he just knows how to fit into an offense better rather than being an individual player. Uh, Second, I got Buffalo Bills. I picked this game incorrectly last week as well. I kind of picked those the two biggest games of the week. I picked with more so my heart than my head. Um, the Buffalo Bills, man. It's not about them having great players, which they do, but that team has grown. Josh Allen's first year, he looked like a bust. Josh Allen's second year, he looked like a middle of the pack quarterback. His third year on forward was just incredible. It has just been incredible. The growth every year has been great. This has been the only year where I haven't seen growth in him just because he was so good last year. But another two things that really elevate this team, and I don't think they would be the same team without him. Von Miller and Stefan Diggs. Uh, Von Miller has upped that defense to a level they haven't been before. They were number one last year. I understand that. They were a bend but don't break off our defense. But Von Miller has enabled them to make plays. He's drawn players away from their other good defenders, so it's given them one-on-ones, and it's Von Miller has been an absolutely great piece to that defense. That he was the perfect fit because their defense was already good. Um, and number three, I got the team that lost to him, the Kansas City Chiefs. I think this is the AFC champion still. Buffalo Bills beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City 2 years ago, and later on that year, Kansas City beat them in the playoffs. AFC championship, I'm pretty sure. Uh, until Buffalo, yeah, I have the Bills ahead of them right now. My power rankings are how the teams currently sit, and once those playoffs come, I'm putting my trust into the Chiefs. Uh, Mahomes went to a Super Bowl his second year, 50 touchdowns right away, MVP right away, been to 2 total Super Bowls. Um, been to three AFC Championship games. I mean, the dude is just has the it factor more than Josh Allen. Now, that's not a knock on Josh Allen at all, but I have seen so many like when the Chiefs were down 17-0 to the Raiders, I was not even worried. Like in my head, I had 100% confidence that the Chiefs would come back and win because I've seen that from them so many times. They've had so many crazy comebacks. Mahomes is more clutch. Uh, Josh Allen I feel like has a higher ceiling of skill set, like with running the ball and he might have a hair of a slider, slightly. I mean, I can't even say he has a stronger arm than Mahomes because Mahomes' arm is crazy strong, but Josh Allen might be a hair stronger. Um, so like athletically, Josh Allen is better, I think, by a hair, which is crazy to say about Mahomes, but Mahomes is clutch. He has that killer in him. He has that drive. I think Josh has it too, but I haven't seen it to the extent that I've seen it with Mahomes. Number four, this was hard for me to put them even up this high, the Minnesota Vikings. They are I still think they're a team that's gonna lose a primetime game, that's gonna lose a big clutch game. Kirk Cousins is gonna be holding you back. He's efficient, he makes good decisions, but I feel like when teams force him to do things, or he's put in a situation that's like, it's on you, Kirk. It's it doesn't work. Now, when the game's rolling with ease and like you're getting the ball to your best players, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, and Thielen, uh, I feel like it's more that team is 5-1 because of the players, not because of Kirk Cousins. And their defense has played a lot better than a lot of people are giving them credit for as well. Their secondary hasn't been the greatest, but the up front upset. Their seven up front uh, has been pretty solid. Number five, I got the Dallas Cowboys. Uh, they're playing Detroit and Chicago these next 2 weeks, so I fully expect them to stay in the top five, if not move up. But they're gonna win, and it's pretty fortunate that Dak's coming back against these two teams. I think if you would have put Dak in against Philly last week, he would have struggled, and everyone would have been questioning what's going on. Now you put him back against the two of the worst pass defenses in the league. He's gonna look good, and it's gonna make the ownership look good. It's all about the franchise with them. And Dak definitely has more skills than Cooper Rush. He does not, I feel like he doesn't fit into this offense like Cooper Rush does. Cooper Rush lets the running game carry them, and then he makes really quick and good decisions. Dak is more of a. He can put the team on his back, but I trust that less than a quarterback that can rely on a running game and play smart rather than play hard. You know what I'm saying? Dak plays hard. Cooper plays smart. But Dak will probably end up being the starter the rest of the year. He's going to have two big games against these guys. And yeah, so next I got the Tennessee Titans. They're a little high for a lot of people, but they were the number one seed last year when they looked like this. When they looked like how they're looking right now, they were the number one seed last year. Run first, Tannehill play action, solid defense. It's it's kind of like a cheat code in the NFL. If you have a great run game, a mobile enough quarterback that can do bootlegs and stuff and throw on the run, play action, you're faking out an entire defense and you got lone receivers down the field and with good defensive play. That's the I feel like one of the best recipes. I'm not a big Tannehill fan because he can't put the team on his back when he doesn't have a running game. But when that running game's there, that team is as good as anybody else. Maybe not the Chiefs and the Bills, but you know what I'm saying. Number seven, I got the Cincinnati Bengals. Again, probably high for a lot of people. Um, I think last game against the Saints was the beginning of their rise. Jamar Chase finally had a game like he had last year, and they played hard. This offensive line is gelling more and more. Their defense isn't terrible, good enough to let their offense have a chance. They're not getting blown out or anything. So I think they could be I think they're going to be the biggest threat to the Chiefs and the Bills this year. A lot of people would think otherwise, but I think that's who teams are going to be nervous to play late in the year, just like last year when they were on that hot streak towards the end of the year. Number 8, I got the New York Jets. No, not the Giants. The New York Jets. 2 good running backs, good receivers, and a quarter. Well, Zach Wilson threw the ball 10 times last game, and a lot of people will probably give me crap for saying I would take Zach Wilson over Daniel Jones. Think about it. Do you want a quarterback that has potential and it's just been growing and growing and slowly maturing? Or would you rather have a quarterback that, like, kind of hit his ceiling when he came out of the draft? Like, you saw what he could do. He was an inaccurate passer. His passing skills have not upgraded. He hasn't improved in efficiency or anything like that. Obviously, he's better when Saquon's in there. That helps him out a lot, but he's a tall Mitch Trubisky. I've been saying it his whole career. He's a tall Mitch Trubisky. Poor accuracy, not very clutch, can run pretty well, fumbles a bunch. I'm just not a Daniel Jones guy. I feel like the Jets have a super well-rounded team. Sauce Gardner's great. They got a top. In my opinion, the Jets have like a top 5 defense, and that might be a reach. But if you really do the numbers on who they've played and what they've held teams to this year, they got a top 5, 6, 7 at the lowest defense. I love Breece Hall. I love Garrett Wilson. They're young. They're young and dumb and athletic. They got it all. They got a solid player at every position. Number 9, I got the Giants. I already explained why I have the Jets above them. Giants are very surprisingly 5-1. They beat the Packers on a neutral field by 5 points. Packers were winning that game. They should have won that game. Packers shot themselves in the foot and gave the Giants a chance. Last game they played Baltimore. Baltimore did the same. It sounds like excuses, but if you actually watch the games and actually pay attention to what's going on, the Ravens kept shooting themselves in the foot. The Packers kept shooting themselves in the foot. They kept making mistakes, enabling for the Giants' offense, which is efficient. They're efficient, and if the other offense makes a mistake and turns the ball over, that offense usually capitalizes on the very least, at least of moving the ball down the field a little. Giants have a solid defense. One thing I will say I said about them earlier, or a few videos ago, was that they have really good tackling. I saw a lot of one-on-one tackles that they just brought dude down without a problem. So that defense is playing really good. Sound. But that offense is Saquon Barkley. That is it. And that is not going to last. I'm sorry. Saquon's already injury prone. They're using him up. And he's either bound to get injured again, or you're going to be forced to pass in one of these games. And I just feel like luck has bounced the Giants' way more than the Jets' luck has bounced it. The Jets impressed me in their wins. The Giants are squeaking by in their wins and showing me like they're getting a little lucky. But I got them 9th. I mean, 5-1 is 5-1. Number 10, I got the 49ers. I know they're coming off a loss to the Falcons. They got put in a hole really early, which usually doesn't happen to them. Jimmy G made a few key mistakes, which he kind of played the opposite of how he usually plays. Usually Jimmy G makes a mistake, but it's not like in a crucial moment. He usually manages the game really well, gives them good field position, but doesn't have very high stats. This game, he had crucial mistakes, but his numbers were super high. I mean, for Jimmy G, he almost had 300 yards passing. For Jimmy G, that's really good. Um, Kittle finally showed up. Ayuk showed up. And I think this game was good for the 49ers. I think it showed Jimmy G that he can get the ball to his receivers more. He can put up better numbers. I don't think that defense will always perform like that. And I don't think they'll make crucial turnovers like they did last week. They are not known for that. Jimmy G's record in the regular season is great. So I got the 49ers at 10 still. Number 11. A lot of people will probably rip on me for this one too. Got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Um, I'm going to keep it short and simple. It's Tom Brady. And until he proves to me that he struggles to make a playoff position or he struggles to get this offense going, like it's been 2 weeks that his two or 3 weeks where his offense has struggled. Uh, I do not expect that to happen the rest of the year. I think he's in a slump. Yes, he has the at home stuff going on and his mind might be in a different place, but it's hard for my mind to wrap around Tom Brady not succeeding in the playoffs, at least to a degree. Um, 20 plus years of just clutch quarterback play, 2 minute drives, driving the ball down the field, winning when it counts. I just can't count them out yet. They're at 11. Number 12, I got the Los Angeles Chargers coming off an extremely lucky win. They were at home against the Broncos team that everyone is calling trash. Okay, Justin Herbert could not move the ball down the field. I know y'all don't got. I know they don't have Keenan Allen, but he can't move the ball down the field. Yes, he's better than Russ. Yes, we all know that. He has great skills. He's very accurate. He didn't have like all his like little short dink and dunk passes were super accurate, but that's all he did all game. Um, their defense is solid, but it's not like top 7 or 8. Um, I just that win was super unimpressive. If it wasn't for all of the bull crap roughing the passer calls that the Broncos kept getting, watch them back and tell me those are roughing the passer. Also, watch the pass interference calls that the Broncos got. That one corner that had like 5 of them or 4 of them, 2 of them were clearly not pass interference. But the Chargers can pull football players' helmets behind their head and no face mask is called. I mean, it looked very 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 like the refs were favoring the crap out of the Chargers. I don't know if it's the sports books are involved with this or what, but um, the Chargers won, but they were super unimpressive. I've been saying it all year. 8 or 9 wins. 10 would be great for them. But 8 or 9 wins was what I expect from this team, honestly. 13, I got the Green Bay Packers coming off their worst loss in like 30 years. Um, I feel the same about Rodgers as what I kind of said about Tom Brady. That um, until something proves to me that he's not gonna succeed this year, I mean, I still got I can't count them completely out. Um, right now, the Vikings are heading towards the division, and Packers are heading towards 500. But I think this running game will develop as the year wanes. I think he'll start popping the ball to Robert Tonyan more. Um, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to let that kind of a loss happen again. I know they lost 2 times previously to that. Big losses. Rodgers hasn't looked great this year, but I think that he's gonna turn it around. I really do. Not to maybe the old Aaron Rodgers, but at least to some extent to where they don't look how they looked against the Jets. Next I got the New England Patriots at number 14. Um, New England is just better with Bailey Zappi in there. I'm sorry. Mac Jones manages games. He's He knows how to get the ball at the right place, right time, when to run, all that, which I praise. But Zappy seems to be able to do that and make plays. Uh, he just looks like a better fit on this offense. I don't care if you're a first round pick or a seventh round pick. If you look better, keep like I was saying with Cooper Rush, keep riding the hot hand. Keep keep that boy in there until he messes up. He hasn't. I mean, he has kept them in games. He almost beat the Packers, destroyed the Lions, and they destroyed the Cleveland Browns. Which Cleveland Browns, I mean, I have the Patriots behind the Chargers, and the Chargers should have lost to the Browns. They lost them by 2 points, or they won by 2 points, and they should have lost. And the Patriots just beat the Browns 38-15. Kind of shows you where things are headed in this season. I think that the Patriots are gonna keep going on the uptick. I think Bailey Zappi's legit. Uh, 15, I got the Miami Dolphins. This is probably a big reach. This was probably the only team where I based it off of what they may do this week. Tua's coming back against the Steelers secondary that's super hobbled, and I think it's going to be a redemption game for him. I think not necessarily redemption, but a great comeback game. I think that Tua just is one of those guys that I think he's very Breeze like. Um, I think they're one of the top teams in the NFL with Tua in there. So I was not expecting him back this soon, but he's coming back, and I pray that he performs well and he stays healthy. And number 16, I got the Atlanta Falcons. Uh, Falcons seem like they are just super cohesive. They're being coached up like crazy. And also, I forgot to mention with the Giants, the key to that team is Brian Daboll. I think he's Coach of the Year candidate. The reason I reminded me of the Giants is because this is another team. They're being coached up like crazy. I think their coach is doing a great job. And if it wasn't for Mariota, they'd probably be 5-1. Mariota's been super efficient. He hasn't turned the ball over a whole lot, but he does hold them back in the types of throws that he makes and distance wise. And he doesn't make plays. He's consistent, but he doesn't make plays. Um, I'm gonna finish this up right here, and I'm going to have NFL rankings video 17 through 32. This was 1 through 16, 17 through 32 coming right up.